Here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. The people who don't post their photos online often understand something about human behavior that most people don't. Psychologists call this external validation dependence, and once you understand it, you'll realize something uncomfortable. Your confidence, your online identity, even your happiness can quietly become dependent on strangers tapping a screen. The people who don't post, they've either escaped that loop or they're trapped in a different one. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Social platforms like Instagram and YouTube run on one thing: attention. Every like triggers dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, the same system that reinforces habits. So when someone constantly posts photos, it's not always confidence. Sometimes it's conditioning. Here's the harsh truth. If your mood rises and falls with engagement, your self-worth is being rented, not owned. But here's the part nobody talks about. Not posting isn't automatically strength. There are 3 psychological reasons people avoid posting their photos. 1. Internal validation. Some people genuinely don't need digital approval. Research on motivation by psychologists like Edward Deci shows that people driven by internal satisfaction are less dependent on external rewards. They don't post because they don't need to prove anything. That's confidence. 2. The spotlight effect. Coined by researcher Thomas Gilovich, the spotlight effect explains why we think everyone is watching us. Your brain exaggerates how much people notice your flaws. So it says, "Don't post, they'll judge you." In reality, most people are too busy worrying about themselves. Not posting can sometimes be protection disguised as preference. 3. Social comparison burnout. Psychologist Leon Festinger introduced social comparison theory, the idea that we constantly measure ourselves against others. When scrolling makes someone feel less than, one coping strategy is withdrawal. So they stop posting, not because they're above it, but because comparison drains them. If that made you uncomfortable, good, because here's the truth. Whether you post constantly or never post at all, if the decision is driven by fear or validation, you're not in control. Your insecurity is. Here's the mental reset. Before you post or choose not to, ask yourself, am I expressing or protecting? Post because you want to share. Stay private because you value privacy. Not because you're chasing applause, not because you're avoiding judgment. Real confidence is emotional neutrality. You're okay being seen, and you're okay not being seen. That's psychological freedom.